BeastNet Podcast, sponsored in part by James Safety Services, OCR Buddy, and supported by the fitness community. Here we discuss all things fitness related, running, rucking, mental health and preparedness, and of course, obstacle course racing. Welcome to the BeastNet.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining the BeastNet today. Lisa was so excited to get back into the host chair she forgot to introduce her guest. We got Danae and her son Brian Jr. fresh off the Seattle Trifecta weekend. Have a listen, you'll have a great time.
Okay. So Danae, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Ooh, I am a Navy brat and now a Navy spouse.
What?
Yeah, that's what we're called. You are too.
No, I'm not.
I've traveled the majority of all my life. I don't know the meaning of sit still.
That's
Even
understandable.
Even I think when my dad retired and I got out of high school, I couldn't find myself just staying into one college. I found myself needing to get up and go after a certain amount of time. After high school, I wasn't active, and I realized I was getting kind of bored until my husband's first duty station, his CDAD and his wife convinced us into signing up on this mud run. So I was like, okay, I think I can do this. It's just 3 miles. It's okay. We can do this. I was like, all right.
You're like, oh,
it's been a while. Haven't ran since high school for sure.
No, you were like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. My legs holding.
Well, that's now. But let's see. I ended up getting hooked because it was an obstacle mud run. So I think it wasn't. But I didn't really find any more obstacles really. When we moved to Washington, I did some races, but none of them were obstacles. They were kind of just like 5Ks or 15K on the hot chocolate. It wasn't until Hawaii where I met Daren with one of our get-togethers of our Shakeology group meets. Yeah. Then he goes, hey, and asked me what I was into and what all I did, and I said, oh well, I'd love to find me some obstacle runs and mud runs going on, but I haven't been able to find any. And he goes, I have this perfect team, this perfect group. I'm gonna message you what it's called. And so that's when I got involved and joined the Spartan Ohana.
Ohana Spartans. That's awesome. And how long were you in Hawaii and doing the races over there?
We were there for 3 years. I started training with them. I want to say it was our 2nd year in.
Nice.
So I guess the first race would have been the hurricane one.
Oh, yeah.
2018. So therefore that got pushed back. So my very first race wasn't until 2019.
Oh man. So you're kind of like every other year almost, just because of everything that's gone on.
And then COVID happened.
Yep.
Anything last year?
So you got into the Spartan races and the mud runs and you really enjoyed that. How did you start incorporating family into it?
Well, for actually Hawaii, for our group trainings, I started noticing the ones that we went to that weren't at our neighborhood, because we had one of our trainings in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
But one of the ones that I actually went and traveled to across island
is Hawaii.
I noticed some people would bring their kids. And so during the ones that we have in our neighborhood, my son would always end up running out there with us and join. And even my daughter at the time, so she doesn't run any of the races, they'll always start doing all the things.
She loves being lazy all the time like that.
But they would both tell me, like, oh mom, this is so easy. All you gotta do is this. And they would climb up a rope real fast, cross the bars or something. I'm like, oh my
Mom.
I'm a lot heavier than you are.
Last time I was sleepover with PJ, we went to this place I don't know what it's called, but there's like a huge ginormous rope. It's so long. Me and EJ were climbing it and trip, so we were just going up there and going. Those taste terrible. So like we were climbing it, and then there's like a bell, so I like hitting it. I'm like spam climbing it. I'm like, and then I just dropped out because there's like pillows everywhere on the ground. So I'm like, I'm just gonna have to think about.
First race was also in 2019. He ran his first kid race out there in Hawaii.
Oh, fun. How long have you guys been back in Washington?
Oh, we actually got back November of 2019. So it's like our race there in Hawaii was almost like a goodbye.
Oh man.
You better got it.
Mm-hmm.
So
my last race, I did not like it at the end. It was mud.
that's my favorite part.
In Hawaii, the race didn't have mud.
Oh, okay. So I can see that.
Going underwater.
Oh, the dunk walls.
Yeah, the dunk walls. I wouldn't care if I did the dunk walls. So
see, the mud's like my favorite part of the races. I get kind of bummed out if there's no mud. I like being able to come back and be like, look, I'm dirty. And so are you involved in any groups or anything around here? Because you're fairly local. Because you guys are in Bremerton?
Silverdale? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not the lone wolf out here anymore. That is awesome. Are you guys involved in any groups there to like work out or anything like that?
Not really. I mean, I'm involved in the KidSap, a ruck team that we have up here.
Oh, awesome.
But other than that, I think I've gone out to some of the Beast meetup in down in Tacoma. I think that was around the closest ones where I try to hit up like the closest meet areas.
I can understand that.
So early in the morning.
I'm the same way.
If I was going up and I was doing the dunk dolls, I would keep going undo. I keep going undo. Then one more time undo. Then I just stop.
We know he likes the dunk walls.
Yeah.
Not very many people like the dunk walls, so I heard that you did your very first Trifecta weekend this last weekend. How was that?
It was it was rough. Training wise wasn't as much as I would have liked. Yeah. So it definitely could have gone better. But I made it, and to me that's all that counts.
Right. You survived. Had you done any like double race weekends or anything like that prior, like when you were in Hawaii, or did you just do like a single race when you were there?
Nope, I've only done single races.
Wow. That's awesome to jump in and just do a Trifecta weekend, like after so much time not having races. How was the course this last weekend? Was it super muddy? Was it dry?
Saturday it wasn't as muddy as it was for Sunday because it rained that following night.
Yeah.
So it'll make the courses a little muddier. And the buckets, it's where the buckets and the sandbags felt a little heavier too.
But that's usually how it goes. I saw some people mentioning that the sandbag carry was really long.
It was. Okay. I was definitely not used to them being that long.
And now your son did the kids trifecta, didn't he?
Well, he did 3 races. We weren't quite sure how a whole kid trifecta would even be. We just needed to do the 3 races, and so he did them.
Yeah, that's pretty much the kids trifecta, like all 3 lengths. That's awesome. Are you looking forward to more races? Do you have anything going on for the rest of the year? Is any mud runs, or was it just like the Spartan for right now?
He's been asking when the next one is, but I don't. I don't.
She doesn't
They're all
want it.
kind of very travel-y
doesn't
right
want
now
it.
for
She
the end of the
doesn't want.
year.
She doesn't
Yeah.
want because she's scared to get a leg hold again.
Mommy landed wrong.
Oh, I've done that before. Yep. Falling off walls.
Oh yeah. I think I jumped off one, and then I just like, as soon as you hit, I knew it was gonna hurt too because of the rocks, and I landed. I just felt like that sting shoot up from on the bottom of my feet.
Oh, yep. Yep.
What that mini long stuffed animal I got from Rialto? I gave it to Jemima.
That's nice.
Do you
Okay.
have like a favorite obstacle or favorite part of the races, or is it just the races themselves?
I like jumping over walls.
Jumping over walls.
But I was so sad because there's like these people doing big walls. And I'm like, oh man, I want to do big walls. But I had to do a little wall, so I'm like, when I got to the first one, I'm like, man, these are not big, so I'm just I did not like them. I'm
Didn't
like,
like 'em.
well, at least the tunnels are better.
I don't really know if I have a favorite one.
I bet it's the carrying bags.
It's really not the carrying bag. I'll tell you that much. Carrying sandbags is
I bet
not
it's the
fun.
sand duck. Going in the water. Dunk.
I like doing the rings
What the
now
fuck
that
are
I've
wings?
actually finally accomplished them.
I want to
That's always a good feeling when you can accomplish like an obstacle that's been like the bane of your existence, and you can like get through it. You're like, yeah, I did it.
And let's see, the spear throw. I actually got my first set of spear throws that actually stuck this year.
Nice.
Excited about that. I'm like, oh, there's 30 burpees. I don't have to do it. I was super excited about that.
That is awesome.
I thought, I'm like, oh, this race, I didn't have anyone run with me until later. Like, man, no one was able to capture that photo.
the first race I did here.
Yeah.
I target.
Your spear. Mm-hmm.
A tailbot spear. But when I went again, I'm like, there's no spears. Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me! I want more spears.
They change up the
I
horses.
don't like it.
Did they have a dunk wall for you kids?
Nope,
Nope.
they're not. The only dunk wall they had is the mud.
Was the mud?
You did not go under the mud. You just walk.
Walk through the mud.
Just walk through the mud.
Boring. I hate the mud.
You realize a dunk wall is just muddy water.
Who cares?
You just said you hate the mud, but you love the dunk wall. Makes no sense.
You make it.
Did they have that horrible hill in Seattle? Like you swear you're constantly going up. It's kind of in the woods. And yeah, you kind of switch back and forth. Oh.
Yeah, my knees didn't like the hills at all.
No. I think that one was the worst when I've done the Seattle races. I hated that hill. As soon as I knew we were getting towards it, I'm like, try to keep my spirits up. I'm like, I can do it. And I'm like, oh, it's a soul sucking hill.
Yeah, no. I mean, it wasn't as bad as the ones that we had to conquer in Hawaii, but it still wasn't fun.
I've heard the Hawaii races are pretty brutal with the hills and the up and downs. Had comparative, like, I know it's kind of hard to compare like Hawaii to Seattle, but how do you feel they compare together? Like the plus and minuses.
Oh, the nice part is that Washington is the weather is really nice to run. So you're not having to go through against that heat
Yeah.
that tires and drains you out even faster.
Yeah.
I did like the fact that they had a pickle station here in Washington. They didn't have a pickle station in pickle juice station in Hawaii.
Who's a pickle station?
Not for you. The races are too small.
They had a pickle juice station.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that's new.
Yeah, I thought that was really nice. They didn't have that. I think really just mainly that heat and the kind of going up that mountain in Hawaii would probably be the biggest thing of the difference between
between the two.
And yeah,
they used to have two different Seattle races, one in the spring and one in the fall, and that spring race was brutal just because it's not quite warm enough, and so when it rains you're like freezing, and I'm kind of sad it's gone but kind of happy all at the same time because it's like yay.
so sad that I was like, because that's what I signed up. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do my first trifecta, but it's okay because I have a sprint and a super up in March, and then I have my beast all the way down in September. I can do that. It's no problem. I'm not doing this back to back.
And then they did it to you.
And they moved it, and I found out this year it was going to be all in 1 week, and I'm like, oh my god. Well, I guess I'm doing this.
I got to the point, and I still do this, like if I'm driving or going anywhere and I see, oh, well, it's like, 13 miles to so-and-so. I'm like, to what city? I'm like, oh, that's only a beast. And I'm like, oh, when did I start doing that? 26 miles. Oh, that's not a big deal. That's not very far. And I'm like, can I run this distance? I'm like, no. I don't want to do that unless it's got obstacles involved.
Well, yeah, and that's what we were talking about this weekend with a couple of people that were timing on our watch. We're like, we're coming up to this mile marker, and our watch totally has an extra mile on here that we've done. I'm like, and we compare because all of us had like different watches too. So one of us had Apple, and another one had another device, and they were all pretty much around the same.
That's because Spartan, this is where they get people, is when they do the race. Yes, the race is going to be, the 13 miles for the beast. However, they don't like calculate all the carries and all the other stuff. So it's like, oh, you guys suckered us. That's like the good and bad about how they've changed their mileage. Like they have like, the 5, the 10, and then the half. When before they started doing that, it was like, 3 to 5, 6 to 10, 13 plus. I'm like, 13 plus? Like, hold on here, 13 plus. And yeah, they took advantage of that.
Mm-hmm. They did.
And I think that's the one thing I miss about Spartan is that question of like how long the race actually is. So I miss that aspect, but I love that they're still going and evolving, and they've made it a little bit easier for people to train. Just a little. Yeah. Are you planning on doing the races next year?
I am.
Yay. Hope opening up more. Do you think you'll do some other races if they come up?
I'm wanting to. Well, I originally had races in Texas too. All all of last year, I kind of had it spread out. I had Washington in March, and I had Texas during the summer, and then I had well, before COVID, I was wanting to do the Hawaii, and then come back here and do the Seattle. But everything ended up changing. I was like, well, I guess Hawaii's out for right now. That's okay. So, but tomorrow, next year, I'll probably end up throwing in Texas, maybe. Someone's trying to talk me into Arizona too. So we'll see.
Ooh, Arizona, that would be fun. I've done the Dallas in October. That's in the one in Dallas, the Texas race there, and I loved that venue. And I know they haven't like really said where the venue is going to be this year, but I'm like, oh, why leave that venue? Because it was a challenge, but like their hills aren't really like hills, I guess. Like, oh, that's a walk in the park compared to Seattle.
No, I mean, I think it would be fun if they opened one up in the west part of Texas where we have our mountains.
Yeah. That would be awesome. You should have said no. No mountains?
Nope.
I
Mountains.
don't even think they'd be running the mountains yet for next year.
I'm not a fan of mountains because one,
We still got a few more years to
I'm
run with
scared. Okay, if I grow up, you're gonna be old.
me. Thanks.
Oh.
Nah.
I love you so much. And so I said you're gonna end up. I told him when he gets older to race with me, I'm gonna just put a little harness and strap me on my waist, strap it on his waist, so therefore if I start dragging a little, I'll be fine.
My daughter started racing with me, I think she was 12, and she was about to turn 13, and she got her first like actual like adult trifecta, and that was like such like a proud mom moment, like yay, she did it. But she kind of got sick of racing with me at times because I've gotten injured a couple times. I'm like, I can't make it over that obstacle. But here she is, like swinging through the monkey bars and everything else. I'm like, yeah, you can do it again. And she's like, what do you mean do it again? I'm like, you're gonna do it for me. I heard Dawn was telling me that while they were waiting for you to finish the race, your son was able to climb the rope climb.
He did. He went up. He went his way when Brandon went to go try and attempted the ropes. He had his chanclas on, his sandals on. He was trying to do it without feet and just do the upper, and then he didn't get it. And so I looked back and I was still doing the bars, and the next thing I noticed, Brian's up on the rope.
That is so awesome.
I looked up and he's like right there, almost at the top. They told me that it wasn't until he got to nearly the very top where the bell was that they get caught, and they told him they had to come back down. I was like, you should have just smacked it real quick before you ran down.
Right, exactly. That is so awesome. That is awesome. Like that's like a proud parent moment. Like, you're not supposed to be up there, but I'm really proud of you because you did it.
Just got done with the monkey bars, and I was like, I was taking a friend of ours pictures that I met on the course, and I would look over and I see him and I go, yep. I go, that's my son over there. I'm like, pretty sure he's not supposed to be doing it. I'm like, I know, but look.
It's okay. There's people watching him. He's good.
Come on.
Well, that was awesome that he did that and did the 3 races in the weekend. It's always nice when you get your whole family involved in doing it and stuff. Has your husband got into it too, or is he kind of?
No, he does not do cardio. It's a very bare minimum. I'm like, you can train it for your PT. He goes, we only PT twice a year. And I just get off. I go, okay.
I'm not a fan of cardio either, but you kind of have to suck it up.
That's what I tell myself. I'm like, I don't like running. I hate running. Like the obstacles and to get dirty.
Exactly.
I'm like, you don't have me like speed walking to my obstacles sometimes. Okay, I'm not always running here.
I do the speed walking. Yep, do the speed walking.
That's what I tell myself. This is me running. See?
But you're doing it. That you're out there, you're doing it, you're racing. Do you how often do you ruck?
They have a ruck out almost nearly every Saturday. So
Fun.
Okay, one house she did that. Every time I try something, she never did that before. She's a strong man, strong woman. She got a Hulk woman. Hulk. She's like a powerful.
but it was
dog.
fun. My youngest one loved seeing the big trifecta medal.
Oh yeah.
I love the big medal.
The big medal. It's I have seen somebody who had, oh my gosh, how many trifectas was it? It was like 15 plus like trifectas, like it was a huge, and he had the medal and it was like the size of like a large pizza pan. I'm like,
Wow.
wow, it was huge. And it still came on that like little itty bitty like hook. And he had to like actually physically hold it because if he let go, it would actually like snap the hook.
Pull through and break.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm just happy to get like a 2 times trifecta medal.
Yeah, she wanted. He liked taking out. He goes, Mom, when you get home, can I go take this and show this to my friends? He goes, I want to show them what you earned. Like,
that's awesome.
I just said local half. Technically, so. Like,
What did you think of your medals?
good, but
Good.
but disappointing because they're only orange.
because they're only orange.
Orange. Aw. They need to incorporate some color there for the kids. I can see that.
Yeah.
So did Seattle have like an actual trifecta medal that went for the trifecta weekend?
They did.
Oh, that's awesome.
They did. They had a trifecta weekend medal.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, so I enjoyed that. That's what the medal he was talking about.
Was that medal? Oh, that's so cool. That's a good goal for one day for me is to have a trifecta weekend medal one day.
Oh yeah. And now I need to get a little holder so he wants to put the other medals together. The pieces.
Oh, the pieces. Yep. My desk at work, I have my first trifecta, the little pieces. I have them there at work. It's like always to remind me, like, there's my first trifecta. It's like a proud moment when you get that. It's like, oh, I did it. I don't know how it was for you, but I know for me, when I started racing, I didn't really like envision actually doing a trifecta. I was like, we'll see. And once I did the Beast in Montana, oh, that's really cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, so this is the weekend one.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Silver
What
one.
weekend?
My mom, why does that guy have a silver one?
Oh yeah, he saw the second place winner.
Oh yeah.
We missed Mr. Jono with his first place medal. but that's okay. We'll catch him next time. You know that he's still going to be traveling around.
Well, thank you for coming on. It's awesome to see somebody like get into it and really love it and start bringing in their family into it and seeing them starting to be excited about it.
Tastes delicious, by the way.
It does it now.
So the people at the we can take multiple bags of the chips.
Oh.
Which one is there? Is that the teriyaki one? He grabbed like I think 4 bags of the bacon one.
Man, those freebies at the end though, those can be kind of awesome.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, it was fun you having us on here.
Yeah, it was good to have you on here, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys out at some races. That's so awesome.
You're frozen.
Oh, it's probably because my internet goes in and out because I live out in the middle of nowhere.
Like a lot of Washington.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm out on the Olympic Peninsula, so I'm like I'm west, way west.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like when we go up to go see Auntie in Oak Harbor. We get like no service whatsoever.
Oh, you got some teeth missing there, dude. That's awesome.
I think you pulled it that weekend.
I pulled it.
Awesome. Yeah, that weekend, a few days ago.
Oh,
oh, shark. Yeah, no, definitely excited and wants to continue.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I got some for you. Well, it's not a Spartan head. That would be cool if I did paint a Spartan. I painted this Sharky.
That's awesome.
And then I can show you my brother.
He is my chatty one.
My brother looks like blue shark. That looks like this.
Oh, okay. Cool. Do you like sharks?
Yeah, not much.
Much?
He likes learning about them, not so much.
No, I like foxes, little.
Foxes.
Foxes and turtles.
And turtles.
I like turtles.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, put this in the tank.
No,
it's
please.
A lot of fishes with my safety trick.
But yeah, so hopefully we'll get more and we'll see. Maybe I can try to convince myself to go for 2 trifectas next year.
You can do it. You can totally do it. It's just a little bit of travel and you can completely do it. I think I got my first 2 times trifecta just on the West Coast, which was awesome to be able to do that.
You have to do it with your finger.
I know. I wished, because I knew that they had one in Dallas, and I would totally do the one in Dallas in October if they had a super.
Oh yeah.
Press right onto it.
But it's just, I think it's just the beast and the hurricane.
It works.
Oh, usually they have a sprint too. It's usually an ultra beast, a beast, and a sprint. But maybe they've changed it.
Yeah, because I was trying to look it up and find one, but I think all they had was just the beast. Mm-hmm.
I love.
I know, because if they had a super, I would totally fly out there and tell my parents, here are your grandchildren. Go run a couple more races, because I did the sprint back in August.
Okay. Oh, at Washougal. That's my favorite race of the year. I love that venue. It's hands down my favorite one.
Okay.
I don't like that massive hill that I did the sandbags.
They change that hill up all the time though. Sometimes you're just like running up it, or I say running, but trying to hike up it. They've had a barbed wire crawl going up it.
See, that'd be fun over but not much a fan of the sandbags going up it though.
No, I can totally understand that.
But no, because then if they totally had a super, I could totally do it and not have to worry about the kids because of family down there.
That's awesome.
That would take the second trifecta if that happened.
Oh, well, Danae, thank you so much for being on. And Brian, thank you for coming on too and telling us your side of things. I hope you guys have a great night, and thanks for being on. And we'll definitely be talking to you guys again soon.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the BeastNet podcast. If you haven't done it yet, find us on Facebook, like and share the podcast. Give us a review on iTunes or Spotify. All these things will help to expand the show in the future. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think and what you'd like to hear.